sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
The Rays' trip to Toronto was a success, taking 2 out of 3, highlighted by Alex Cobb getting his first win since returning from Tommy John surgery. Tonight, Tampa Bay's trek through the AL East continues as they arrive in the Charm City to face off against the big league's home run leader, Mark Trumbo, and the Orioles. Tonight, we welcome you to a beautiful evening in Baltimore, Maryland. The Rays road trip continues, and the season series between the Rays and the Baltimore Orioles will be wrapped up with this 4-game set at Camden Yards. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, a great stop for the Rays in Toronto. Here in Baltimore, it has been a little different story. They're still looking for their first win here in this ballpark this year. One thing on display when these two teams get together, 2 of the best third basemen in all of Major League Baseball, Evan Longoria and Manny Machado.
I mean, premier and well-rounded. They get it done with the stick, power, and production, and out in the field, too. Let's start with Evan Longoria. 32 home runs, a resurgent season for Evan Longoria. 1 off of his career high. He should surpass that number, which was 33, set back in 2009. And the thing you love about his home runs, 17 of the 32 have come from the 6th inning on in crunch time. And oh, by the way, put him out in the field and he makes plays. Big-time defender, only 8 errors on the season at the hot corner. On the other side, Manny Machado. He has matched his career high, 35 home runs to go along. How about with that average up over 300, closing in on 100 runs driven in. Big time power for Manny Machado. And oh, by the way, another guy at the hot corner that makes it look easy. I mean, this play right here, that is an absolute rocket. That's how you throw the ball over, you know, at the end of infield practice as he just walks off the field. I mean, these are 2 of the best that you're going to see, and you're going to get to see him for the next 4 days.
17 games left in the regular season. The Rays continue to play the role of spoiler for this Baltimore Oriole ball club. It's something altogether different. They're a game back of Boston, running second in the East. Back in a moment. beautiful evening sky in Baltimore. The Rays and the Orioles squaring off. The Rays 4-11 in the season series between these two teams. 0-6 here. And they've dropped 9 of the last 11 against the Baltimore Orioles. So they'd like to turn that around. The Orioles have to keep winning. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Rays, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Logan Forsythe leads it off, followed by Kevin Kiermaier and then Evan Longoria. Brad Miller's at shortstop tonight. He'll hit cleanup. And at first base, Nick Franklin. Corey Dickerson will be the DH. Steven Souza Jr. in right. Mikey Montook is in left hitting aid. Luke Maile, the young catcher, will bat ninth.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Baltimore Orioles is going to be right-hander Yovani Gallardo, making his 21st start of the season. That record 5-7, ERA 5.44. This will be his 4th start against the Rays. And get this, Dwayne, his 3 previous, his record is 1-0. Team record 3-0. They have not lost a start that Gallardo has made against the Rays. Let's take a look at that defense and see how it's going to line up behind Yovani here tonight. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in that outfield left to right, Nolan Reimold, Adam Jones, and Drew Stubbs across the infield third to first. Manny Machado, J.J. Hardy, Jonathan Scope, and Chris Davis, with Matt Wieters behind the plate.
Kevin Cash pleased with the way the team performed the last couple of games against the Blue Jays in Toronto after suffering a loss in Game 1, coming away with victories of 6-2 and 8-1. And tonight they face Gallardo. Baltimore in at 80-65, running second to Boston in the AL East. The Rays at 62-83. Logan Forsythe in here, and the first pitch of this game is a ball. .72 degrees as we start play tonight. One and one.
Yovani Gallardo, his last start was against the Rays. Tropicana Field, went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, a couple of runs, just 1 earned. It was the game that he got his win. He has to be fine with command. He's got to pitch to the corners.
2 balls and a strike, and he did a pretty good job of that against the Rays at the Trop.
Yeah, the one thing that he does, because the stuff that he used to have no longer there, not overpowering, but he will mix his pitches about as well as anybody. Just try to keep a hitter guessing and work to the fringes of the strike zone.
Well, after the first pitch strike, now 3-1. Jim Wolf calling the balls and strikes tonight. And there is ball 4. So a walk to Forsythe. Forsythe aboard for Kevin Kiermaier, hitting .250 and settling in very well in that number 2 spot in the Rays lineup. Twelve home runs for Kevin, including the one yesterday. Shorten's on the bat. The pitch is a ball. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Chris Coors Lights. But a good September for Kevin Kiermaier with an on-base percentage of .455.
You know, it's numbers like this why so early in the game you don't want to see Kevin Kiermaier bunt here. Let's swing the bat, especially against a pitcher like Gallardo, who's going to give you pitches to hit. Yeah, that's, you know, maybe you square around, you see the reaction of Manny Machado down at third base on that first pitch, but you definitely, I think, want Kevin Kiermaier swinging the bat in this situation so early.
And in this park.
Yeah. You know, he's a guy, you know, even if you start to think about, you know, putting the ball on the ground, you know, Kiermaier, a tough guy to double up, been swinging the bat well, and you've got a pitcher that should give you something to hit, and he does square again, but Gallardo cannot find his zone.
3-0. He walked Forsythe. Just one strike out of the 8 pitches he has delivered to start this game. Now the count goes to 3-1. It has been the emergence of their rotation, the Orioles starting pitching, propelling them right into the middle of this race. There'd been some question about their starting pitching. They were without Chris Tillman. He's back. Pop, foul ball out of play, and the count is down 3-2.
Well, and think about the job that Kevin Gausman has done. I mean, his numbers, Dwayne, you look at, well, he threw 8 scoreless last night in a 1-0 win, and in his last 5 starts, he's 4-0 with an ERA of .82.
He's fulfilling that promise and more of what the Orioles have seen in him for quite some time. Runner takes off. The pitch is down for a ball. Back-to-back walks to start the game.
Well, and this has been a trouble area for Yovani Gallardo. That is now walked 54 and 55 on the season in 102 2/3 innings of work. Far too many, but he's a guy in pitching to the fringes. He just is never going to give in, and so he's going to run up some walk totals, and that can be troublesome.
He walked only 1 in the 5 innings he worked against the Rays at the Trop. Now the pitch to Longoria. He hits it deep into center. That ball is well tagged and out of here. Evan Longoria on the first pitch hits it out to center field, and the Rays lead 3-0. Home run number 33 for Evan Longoria, and after 2 walks, Longoria ready for that first pitch, and he nails it out of here.
Now that's the problem. Number 1, 2 walks, and now Evan Longoria knows that Gallardo is going to be in the zone. He has to be in the zone, so he tries to cut it. Not much movement on that pitch, and Longoria unloads. That's a Baltimore special right there, the 3-run homer.
Well, Evan matching his career high in a single season of 33 home runs. He's on a pace for 36. He had 33 in 2009, and that gives him 33 this year.
Well, that didn't take long.
A couple of walks, home run on the first pitch. 3-0 Rays. Brad Miller quickly behind in the count. Longoria had gone 2 for 17 against Gallardo, including 0 for 3 in that game he pitched against the Rays on the 6th at the Trop. Now he strikes out Miller. So 1 gone on the strikeout. Here's Vic Franklin. Nick getting the start at first base. Pitch is down. Franklin has made starts in left field, at second, in right field, at short, and first base. Taking some fly balls today in center field. There's a breaking pitch in for a strike, curveball, and we wouldn't be surprised to see him get a start or 2 in center field in the remaining games left of this season.
Well, I love the fact that Nick Franklin, you can see him sort of being earmarked for that super utility role. You know, we've already seen him in the corner of the outfield. Now you see him getting some, you know, reps, at least getting ready to maybe get some time out in center field. Corner infield, can play the middle infield positions. That's such a valuable role anymore. And Nick Franklin, and also being able to handle all those positions is nice. But then as a hitter, switch hitter.
Yep.
And he's been swinging the bat well from both sides.
286 overall, 308 from the left side. All of his home runs have come as a left-handed hitter. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rays strike early tonight. Popped up. It's Machado coming in from third base and makes a little basket catch there. That took a little while to develop there. Gallardo thinking about coming down off the mound. Machado came in, got there in time.
Yeah, maybe he should have. I mean, this is not the cleanest of plays here, where Machado took that quick peek at Matt Wieters and then makes that little basket catch. A couple of really good angles there by the camera crew on that pop-up. Something that we specialize in.
2 gone. Here's Corey Dickerson.
Also a big fan of the ground ball at first base.
Yep. A lot more difficult than some people may think.
And that's why we like to point it out.
That's a foul. The opposite side. Well, Corey Dickerson swinging the bat extremely well in our Buick big matchup, an 8-game hitting streak, and for the life of that streak, hitting .516 with a couple home runs, including a 2-run home run yesterday in Toronto.
That's the thing too. He's got 6 straight starts where he's had multiple hits in a game, and the number that you just mentioned, an 8-game hitting streak, he's not getting a hit a game. .516 on the average. He's doing damage, swinging the bat very well. We've seen him on this road trip hitting pitches up in the zone, hitting pitches down in the zone. He's covering everything right now.
And a cut and a miss out on strikes on the pitch up out of the zone. Rays come up with 3, 2 walks, and then a long one off the bat of Evan Longoria. Rays 3, Baltimore coming in to bat. Home run by Evan Longoria. Lined up for Baltimore, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Adam Jones will lead off. Jonathan Scope will be next, and then Manny Machado, Trumbo Davis, and Wieters down the middle. Hardy, Stubbs, and Rimo rounding out the lineup. for Buck Showalter.
Well, and as Blake Snell's 2016 season winds down, the search for consistency continues, making a 17th start, record of 5-8, ERA 3.62 in 77 innings of work. And you like the strikeout total. Not a big fan of the walk total, something that he continues to work on, commanding the zone.
Yeah, and his pitch count, something he could work on as well. Pitches down, and if you command the zone a little better, that pitch count tends to shrink. All good things to happen, and that's what the Rays continue to look for from this talented young left-hander. Some slice on that one, that's going to drop into right center field. Little popper that slices into shallow right center. Jones is aboard.
Well, didn't catch that one clean, but he dropped it in. And well, we have a minute here. Let's take a look at the Rays defense, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we've got Mikey Mato, Kevin Kiermaier, and Steven Souza Jr. And across that infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Brad Miller back at shortstop, Logan Forsythe, and Nick Franklin with Luke Maile behind the plate.
Jonathan Scope, second baseman with power. A couple of those in this series, and Logan Forsythe and Jonathan Scope. A ball, no strike. Scope with 24 home runs, 34 doubles to go with the 77 runs batted in. Orioles getting their first look at Blake Snell.
Well, I'm sure what, as you're putting together that game plan and you're thinking about facing a guy for the first time, you know and you hear and you watch his stuff, but you've got to be disciplined as a hitter. This is an aggressive lineup, a powerful lineup, the most powerful lineup as far as home run go in Major League Baseball. So they want to swing the bat, but they've got to swing at strikes. That's what the mindset is coming in.
2-1. They've hit 232 home runs. Rays with 200, a club record.
We've got 6 guys with at least 20. And of course, their big 3 all over 30. In fact, all over 35. 35 for Manny Machado. It goes up from there.
Scope sends it into right. Souza Jr. toward the line makes the catch for the first out. And that will get us down to Manny Machado. Third baseman hitting .305, which places him 10th in the league in hitting. And he's 8th in the league in home runs with 35.
Yeah, just really having a career year. He's already matched his career high in home runs from a season ago. The average up to 300, continues to play Gold Glove caliber defense.
All no strikes. Snell has averaged close to 19.5 pitches per inning. And that's something that he will absolutely need to address.
And that goes back to the command. Too many deep counts. Too many walks. And the thing is it causes short outings. We were looking at his last 6 starts. Record 2-4, ERA 5.32. He has averaged 3 2/3 innings in his last 6 starts. Just 22 total innings. And it's because of that pitch count.
1-2. So the Rays would certainly love to see that begin to head in the opposite direction. Pitch count down, the innings, the length of his outings to increase.
Well, he's going to get a few more starts here at the end of the season, and you absolutely want to see that trending in that direction as you finish things off and head into the offseason.
Ground ball, right side base hit. Jones advances to second and holds. Hits by Jones and Machado. First and second with one out.
Well, certainly what you see here early on from Blake Snell, having never faced this Baltimore lineup, he has been trying to establish that fastball, been pumping the zone with a lot of heaters. Jones was able to flip one into center field. Manny Machado, a nice job of going down and getting that pitch, shooting it into right.
Mark Trumbo leading the major leagues with 42 home runs. Fastball down. Trumbo providing the offense last night. It only took one, and he hit it completely out of Fenway.
How about those two teams in that ballpark, a 1-0 game? I mean, that speaks to two pitchers on top of their game.
Two balls, no strikes. Trumbo with 42 and Brian Dozier with 41 for the Twins. Encarnacion third, and then Chris Davis, who happens to be on deck with 37. Two balls and a strike. Rays jumping to a 3-0 lead. 2 men on for Baltimore, 1 out. It's a foul ball outside of third, and it cracked his bat.
Yeah, and he may have swung at ball 3. Instead of this being a 2-2 count, really good chance it was going to be a 3-1 count. That ball in off the plate. That's why it cracked the bat.
Jones back to second. He opened with a base hit. Machado's at first. Trumbo hitting .250 for the year, but .302 with men in scoring position to go with the 42 home run total. And he takes that one for ball 3. The count is full. Other side of that is Trumbo hitting just .184 against left-handed pitching, but 10 home runs. Now 3-2. Popped up foul, straight back. That fastball around 94. There's that lefty-righty breakout. Still showing the power. The average under 200.
Yeah, Mark Trumbo likes that ball middle in. He likes to turn. He likes to open up those hips and lift that ball with power. Center field, left, center, left. And a lot of lefties working him down and away with sinking action.
And he fouls this one away.
That's a good spoil. That's a really good spoil because that's a tough pitch there by Blake Snell, driving that four-seamer down and away in the mid-90s. That's a tough pitch right there to get to.
And the bases are going to be loaded. Fastball missed in off the plate. So he has yet to establish that fastball. And the bases are loaded with only 1 out.
No, and you know, deep counts, and Jim Hickey already to the mound, trying to calm his young lefty down. And like I said, this is what reared its ugly head in Toronto those 6 starts ago, where he ended up going inning and 2/3. The crowd was into it, really didn't have command, and since then he's had a couple of nice games, but far too often there's just been too many deep counts, too many walks, too many short outings. He needs something good to happen right here.
Longoria hanging around there after the breakup of that conference.
You know what? And you could read his lips, and what he was telling Blake Snell was, you got to trust yourself. You got to trust yourself. Trust your stuff. You know, we know that his stuff is good. Mid-90s fastball, the hook, the changeup, little slider. He's got the pitches. Trust it and attack.
He has Chris Davis to deal with now. Bases loaded. And the first pitch is a strike at the upper part of the zone. A fastball up there. One ball, one strike. Jones third, Machado at second, Trumbo at first. One out and a 1-1 count on Chris Davis. That's a strike.
Ooh, yeah, I'll tell you what.
That's a call right there.
Yes, yes. Needed something good to happen. That pitch right there, borderline. A lot of times when a guy is not commanding the zone, they're not going to get that borderline pitch. But he does, and that's a big difference. 1-2, 2-1.
And strike three called. He comes back to get Davis looking. Big out right there on the strikeout looking.
That's why it's such a big deal. 2-1, he's not throwing the hook. He's throwing another fastball. 1-2, you can go to the off speed, and that wasn't the best one, but you know what? It caught Chris Davis flat-footed, and it picked up the strike zone.
Yeah, and that's the thing about him. When we've seen him at his best, he'll throw any of those pitches at any time. In big trouble here, however, as Wieters fouls it out of play on an opening fastball. So he gets the count running in his favor. Snell.
You know, and is Baltimore going to be able to do anything with this opportunity? And if Blake Snell can power through and get out of this inning unscathed, the confidence boost that will give him going forward, that could be huge.
Away, 1-1. Well, averaging 19.4 pitches per inning. He's made 24 pitches already here in the first. Into left field. Matuk cannot get there. That ball falls. The throw to the plate. Two-run score, and it's 3-2.
You know, and there's a couple things here too. First of all, that ball blooped in by Matt Wieters, but the throw from Matuk offline, and Maile has to go down and smother it. Let's take a look at the pitch first. Coming in, Wieters is able to slap it out to left. Here comes the throw. Watch Maile have to go down. Where's Blake Snell? Blake Snell's got to be backing that up. He's standing in the middle of the diamond. You got to be backing that up. That ball squeezes past Luke Maile. These guys are still running. There's nobody back there. Almost acting as if he was the cutoff man.
J.J. Hardy, the pitch is a strike. Yeah, he's got to be back there regardless. You know, whether you think maybe the ball's going to be caught, it'll carry or not, you can't be where he was.
That's fundamental baseball, and if that ball squeezes past Maile, now you've got second and third. Maybe a run comes home. It just can't happen. You know, you're upset for giving the hit up. I get it, but you still have a job to do, and you've got to go and do it.
Trumbo at second, Wieters at first. Still 2 strikes. Wieters driving in his 59th and 60th runs of the year. Fly ball. deep left center. Kiermaier to the track, leaps, and he cannot make the catch against the wall. The ball loose. Trumbo scores. Wieters scores. It's a double for Hardy, and the Orioles have come back to take a 4-3 lead. Well, what a great effort by Kiermaier. You're almost concerned he's going to hurt himself out there, challenging the wall on the double by Hardy, and it's now a 4-3 Baltimore lead.
He kept the ball from leaving the ballpark. This ball's going to get out right. Oh, no, actually it went over him. He just missed it. Went a long way for it. You can see right here, time the jump. Ball misses the glove, catches the wall as he catches the wall. Well, you don't see that very often. Usually, Kevin Kiermaier, when he times that jump and makes that leap, he's got a beat on that baseball, and he's going to come up with it. But that one eluded him, and that's why you see him in that position. It also led to 2 runs.
Now Hardy's on second. Drew Stubbs, the hitter. This will be the 30th pitch of the inning. It's a first pitch strike.
Well, you see him, he's got his eyes on it, the jump there, and that ball just over the top and catches the top part of the wall. Boy, it looked initially like it clanked off the glove, like it was headed out and clanked off the glove, and you see on that replay it was not, it just barely squeaked over.
A 1-1 count. Ball, 2 strikes.
Boy, and all of this with 2 outs, that close to getting out of it, and all of a sudden, not only do you not get out of it, but Baltimore takes a lead.
And a heavy load on the pitch count. 2-2 here to Stubbs. 33 pitches in the first inning. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Stubbs to retire the side. Baltimore back with 4. 4-3 Orioles. And he saw that 3-0 lead evaporate in a hurry. So the Rays down 4-3. Coming in to hit with Steven Souza Jr. leading off the second inning. Facing Giovanni Gallardo. Souza, Matuk, and Maley. Pitch is down. No ball, no strikes. 17 home runs for Souza, hitting .239. One ball, one strike. Foul ball off his foot. Well, the dogs are barking early tonight for Souza Jr. Down 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Right off the instep.
Stairs 2-2. It's a base hit drilled through the hole between short and third. So the Rays put Souza Jr. aboard.
Well, it looks like tonight's turning into a fight at the bat rack.
Already.
Yeah. I mean, 4-3. Blake Snell had run into some bad counts and was staying pretty much fastball heavy. Gallardo doesn't have the type of stuff to be living out over the heart of the plate, but he's found a couple of pitches there. The Rays have hit hard. Well, who's going to be able to settle down first?
Mikey Matuk up there.
Because here's the thing, and I know it's September. You know, you've got expanded rosters, but the first game of a 4-game series, you don't want to be dipping into the bullpen this early. But it's got to be crossing the mind of.
Yeah, these teams now have 11 and 12 men bullpens.
Yeah, well, but again,
like, you know, maybe it's a 4-game series, and here we are in the first inning with your starter putting together a 34-pitch inning.
And on the other side, you know, Buck Showalter's getting to that point where you start to manage these games more like playoff games because they need these wins.
Still 2 strikes the count to Matuk. A 2-strike count. Start and stop by Souza Jr. off first, and the pitch is fouled out of play. Ball, 2 strikes. Gallardo made 24 pitches in the first, started this game by walking Forsythe and Kiermaier before Longoria hit the home run, then retired Miller, Franklin, and Dickerson in succession, picking up 2 strikeouts. Now a base hit by Souza Jr. and a 2-2 count on Matuk.
Well, the one thing that we've not seen from either starting pitcher either is any kind of tempo or rhythm. I mean, really just overthinking, it seems, every pitch, every situation.
There goes Souza, ground ball, roll to third, gets by Machado on the broken bat. Third base open, and Souza Jr. moves in there. It is first and third, nobody out for the Rays. Montauk reaches on the broken bat ground ball, and it got by Machado.
You know, I wonder if Manny Machado was distracted by the barrel of the bat coming out towards him. That's about the only thing. The ball wasn't hit hard. He was there playing that off his left leg, glove side. But you see the barrel coming at him. I wonder if he took his eyes off of it, because he ends up reaching for that ball. That should have been a play that was made. You just wonder where those eyes were initially.
Well, they scored a base hit for Montauk. Now men at first and third, nobody out. Here's Luke Maile. Maile pops it down the right side, foul. Twisting. Davis is there, but it's going to be out of play. Just on the other side of the tarp. Maile with 3 homers and 14 runs batted in. Rays trying to retake the lead. Down 4-3 right now. Inside. 1-1. Is fouled out of play. 1-2. Missing. Look at this one.
Just trying to cut that ball outside corner. That's Gallardo. That's what he's going to do. I mean, both of these lineups are going to need to stay disciplined for different reasons.
And a swing and a miss. Maile chased the pitch up out of the zone.
That's the key word, chase. You want to stay in the zone and disciplined against Gallardo, because he's going to tease you. He's going to work around the edges. This right here, he climbs the ladder, and he does get the swing and a miss, which he sorely needed. That runner down there, Souza Jr. third base, nobody out.
Well, a big strikeout there. And here is Logan Forsythe. Took over at first. Souza Jr. the runner at third. It's going to be a strike. Well, Logan, that walk and a run scored the first time around. 7 out of 19 against Gallardo with a home run. 19 home runs on the season for Logan Forsythe. And a good take on a pitch down. 1-1.
He's gotten the job done when it matters. Runners in scoring position. Great opportunity here.
Just on the inside part of the plate. And it's now a ball, 2 strikes.
And now you start to think about that little cutter slider, that little hybrid pitch that Gallardo has, down and away. You know, you just came in, you got the strike, you kind of stood Forsythe up. Now you go with that pitch thinking maybe he'll roll over it, reaching for it. You can go for that ground ball double play or pick up the strikeout.
And he fouls the pitch away. Still 1-2. So these two teams locked up in this one already, back and forth. Rays had 3, Baltimore scored 4. Rays threatened in the second. And a base hit punched into right. That will score Souza Jr. to tie the game. It's 4-4. Forsythe driving in the run, his 51st RBI.
You know, I don't know why Gallardo did not go with that pitch. He just went with 2 traditional fastballs. You know, Logan Forsythe was his approach. 2-strike approach up the middle the other way. You just throw him 2 straight fastballs middle away. I mean, you're just asking for this. Oh, by the way, Jonathan Schoop shaded up the middle. I mean, that's just too easy for Logan. And not smart pitching by Gallardo.
First and second with 1 out. Here's Kevin Kiermaier. Upstairs. And now a visit to the mound by Wieters. Trying to corral Giovanni Gallardo. Gallardo 1-0 in 3 starts against the Rays this year. 3-1 in his career. That covers 6 starts. Pitch. 2-0. Longoria on deck. In the corner. Orioles have some action in their bullpen. There's Brian Dunsing. Pitch popped up, headed toward the seats. That's going to be out of play. Rays took advantage of a couple walks in the first in front of Longoria, who jumped on the first pitch and hit it out. Rays have tied it here in the second inning. 2 men aboard with a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Kevin Kiermaier. And he takes strike 3 on the inside corner. Big strikeout for Gallardo.
Yeah, a perfectly located fastball there. How he stays behind it, that 4-seam, it stays true to the spot. Wieters catches it right on the corner, and Kiermaier just cannot pull the trigger.
Well, it's Evan Longoria up here again with 2 men on. We've seen 1 pitch tonight. He hit it out. And he takes the first pitch this time, ball 1. Here's that first inning 3-run home run by Evan. Pitch catches the corner. Into the dirt, scooped out by Wieters. 2 balls and a strike.
Like finally Gallardo brought out the changeup pitch that he doesn't go to very often. trying to find any kind of mix here. You know, a guy takes you deep just an inning before. That's fresh in your mind. This has been a slugfest here.
Here's the 31st pitch of the inning coming up, and that's low for ball 3. Blake Snell made 34 pitches in the first inning. And with 2 outs and men in scoring position, Evan Longoria hitting .370. Well, that's what we have right here. And he's up in the count, 3-1.
Is he going to get an opportunity? I mean, Gallardo has not been close. I mean, look at the spray chart there. Fox tracks all over the place. Oh boy.
And a fly ball into center field. Jones will go back just in front of the track, makes the catch to retire the side. Rays get a run and tie the game. They leave 2. Bottom of the second coming. 4-4 game. Shirts Off Our Backs returns September 20th to the 25th. Making a donation to Rays Baseball Foundation will get you a scratch-off card in exchange, and you can win tickets to a 2017 home game or a jersey right off a player's back. Every card's a winner. For details, visit raysbaseball.com/shirts. Nolan Reimold, the leadoff man, a strike to count. 1-1 the count here.
You know, Dwayne, at this point, I don't know what's longer. Nolan Reimold's tenure as a Baltimore Oriole or this game.
Well, at this pace, it could surpass Reimold's stay here. He's out on strikes, although his appearance at the plate this time rather brief.
Yeah, for this game, there's been a lot of deep counts, a lot of slow pacing, no rhythm whatsoever. You wonder who's going to be able to kind of lock it in and settle things down first, because we're back to even here, 4-4 in the bottom of the second. Great start here by Blake in getting that strikeout.
Well, how about the pitch counts for these pitchers? 34 in the first for Blake Snell. Gallardo made 24 in the first and then 32 in the second inning. And Jones out in front. The off-speed pitch. Start him with the changeup.
I think you'll see more of that too, because you go back to that first inning and the first time through that lineup, how many fastballs? Blake Snell really pounded that fastball into the zone. That'll set up here some off speed and back-to-back changeups to Adam Jones, and he's out in front 0-2. It's called an adjustment. Jim Hickey may have had something to do with that, you think?
I'm sure he did. In the dirt. Breaking ball this time. And down to first to complete the strikeout. So no hard stuff there.
And how about that at bat by Adam Jones? 2 changeups and then this. This curveball's not even close. I mean, not even close. You're going to see a swing. Hit ball. Hey. Predetermined swing.
So back-to-back strikeouts opening the bottom of the second. Now Jonathan Scope.
That has to match, or not a match, that has to exceed the swing and a miss furthest away from the baseball of the season. I mean, he missed that pitch by more than any other swing and a miss that I can remember seeing, maybe ever.
And there's a big cut there on the change and a miss. Well, these guys love to swing the bats, as we know, and they just never, in this case, not getting off the fastball.
And Blake's taking advantage.
It's chopped to short. Miller makes the throw to Franklin. So it's a quick bottom half of the second. We're tied 4-4.
Here in the third inning, all tied at 4. We saw Miller make the final out of the bottom of the second as he threw to Nick Franklin at first. The question being, why Miller at short and Franklin at first tonight, not the other way around? Well, Kevin Cash has said Brett Miller very much in the mix at shortstop next year. Matt Duffy will still be the primary shortstop. Miller will still be the primary first baseman. But Cash wants to see Miller get his reps at shortstop at the end of this season, so he'll be ready to go again next year. Guys, back to you.
Miller takes the first pitch up. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, the Rays apparently are about versatility. I mean, that's when you look at all the players. Hey, there's a shot toward right center field. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Chance for Miller to run. He's around second and going to hold right there with a double. His 26th double of the year. So the Rays greet Gallardo with a 2-base hit, and now they have a man in scoring position to lead off the third inning.
Well, I'm telling you, this Rays lineup, they can smell it. I mean, Gallardo just has nothing right now that he's able to get them out with that's anywhere near the plate. He's got to get them to chase off the plate, up, above, below. Anything out over is just too hittable, and the Rays feasting.
Well, here's Nick Franklin. Pitch is down. Ball, no strikes. Todd with that little report there on Miller at shortstop. More action in the bullpen. Now Tommy Hunter is up for the Orioles. And Nick Franklin fouls one out of play. And Nick Franklin in there at first base today. And we mentioned we've seen him all over the place. First time up, we mentioned that it wouldn't be surprising to see him in center field a couple of times before the season is over. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Two and 2. Corey Dickerson on deck. A 4-4 tie. And Franklin takes strike 3. On the outside corner, that's the first out.
I wonder right there what Nick Franklin is looking for. Gallardo, one of his better pitches of the evening, goes down and away with that fastball. You're thinking and hoping here that at very minimum Franklin could move Brad Miller to third base, but
yeah, the one thing you don't want to do there is strike out.
Looking,
yeah,
you know, strike out swinging.
Yeah, that's
okay,
one thing.
Right,
yeah.
But even looking, this not ideal.
Corey Dickerson out on strike, swinging his first time. The pitch is a strike at the knees. You know, when it comes to versatility, I mean, you're not surprised at anything the Rays do when it comes to versatility. And Miller at shortstop tonight, as Todd mentioned, they still think he's in the mix in some way, so they'd like to see him over there. Franklin's at first. This one is fouled out of play. 0-2. And for a couple of reasons, versatility that gives you greater depth, and it also gives you greater maneuverability. So you know, maybe with the exception of Longoria, I mean, you might see anybody play anywhere at any time. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Corey Dickerson. More options.
You know what
they're after. More options.
It works for pitching. Any pitch and any count, you know, it works. Now we'll see if it works in the field.
Well, you know, it's a little bit, really more than a little bit. It is a challenge for players to become accomplished at all of these positions. There's no question about that.
Yeah,
and it does seem to be part of the changing nature of this game now. You see a lot of clubs doing it, and I think most people can see that the Rays did it early and utilize that to their advantage. And I think a lot of teams are looking for at least 1 or 2 guys who can play almost anywhere. Dickerson out on strikes. So after the leadoff double, Gallardo strikes out Franklin looking, Dickerson swinging.
Well, he got Dickerson to strike out up in the zone last time. This time down and away. You see Dickerson dropping down almost to the knee, trying to reach that pitch down in the zone, and that's 2nd consecutive strikeout. 2 unproductive outs for the Rays offense. Now it's up to Steven Souza Jr. here with 2 outs. Hammered the ball into left his first time up.
Yeah, and with the action the Orioles have had in the bullpen, Gallardo has to be feeling as if he's pitching for his life in this game. Now Souza Jr. lofts it into center. A diving attempt by Jones gets by him. Miller's going to score. Souza heads to second, and he's safely in there as the Rays take a 5-4 lead. Steven Souza Jr. drives in the go-ahead run and clings to that bag out there at second. Getting time from Gary Cederstrom now.
Well, he did not hit this ball hard. The ball got in on him just a little bit, but you know what? He dropped it out in there. Adam Jones, that's the feeling you get in this game. Everybody all out because it's just been a back and forth affair. Not able to get to that baseball, and Souza Jr. watching that dive happen out in front is able to sneak in the back door to second base.
Nice little maneuver there just in case he had to go to the inside of the bag, and turned around and hung on for dear life. 17 doubles, 17 homers this year for Souza. Now strike to Mikey Montour. Two. Montour had the base hit in the second inning. His first time up. Chases the pitch up and is out on strikes. Rays get the go-ahead run, and it's 5-4. To you by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory Ram. By Furman, the Bay Area's first name in Chevrolet. By St. Luke's Cataract and Laser Institute. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. We go to the bottom of the third. The Rays hold a 5-4 lead. Blake Snell facing Manny Machado to begin the bottom of the inning, and the first pitch is down and away, 1-0. We would certainly like to welcome Alex Cobb to our broadcast tonight from the Rays dugout. Alex, great to see you in action, and great to have you with us tonight.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Machado lines it into left,
Yes.
and it's caught out there by Montour. Diving to his right, hard hit ball off the bat of Manny Machado for the first out.
You know, in a game like this, you're looking for guys to make plays. A back and forth affair. Both starting pitchers trying to settle in, and some help right there for Blake Snell.
Alex, first, before we get to any of the particulars, how does it feel to be back?
Oh man, it's awesome. There's a lot of nights where I spent thinking about just doing this right here, just being in the dugout, rooting on the guys, being a part of the atmosphere. You know, you get, no offense to you guys, but I got real tired of watching TV.
No offense taken.
Okay.
And the feeling is not mutual when you run to the mound, because we love to see you out there. How do you evaluate where you are right now?
Well, if you would have laid out the kind of the outcomes of my games, the big league games, to me when I was first starting my rehab assignments and going through bullpens and all that, I would have been very thankful with where I'm at. But you know, you become content, then you don't get better. You know, so where I'm at right now, I'm close to being back to where I want to be. The big picture's there. The ideas of what I want to get accomplished out on the mound are happening, but you know, the finer details, finishing some pitches here and there where you know, I have 2 strikes on a guy where I didn't fully execute a certain pitch. Those things are coming back, but the overall body of work I'm thrilled with. The health, I couldn't be happier with either. My elbow feels very similar to the way I felt before the injury.
Alex, you know, your last couple of starts, you know, coming down the stretch here to finish off the season, what are you looking to accomplish to take into the offseason and build off starting next season?
To get thinking out of the equation. I don't want to be on the mound thinking about anything. I want to think about mechanically. I want to go out there and see, you know, a few pitches ahead. You know, when things are going well, I can see, all right, I want to throw this pitch, this pitch, this pitch, finish them off, and execute them to perfection, and then be able to walk off the mound. And the only thought was the process of how I wanted to get people out. You know, not I hope I get to finish. I hope I finish this pitch in the right manner, so it has the right action or whatnot. So all the mechanical things need to be gone. But I think before that, I had to get rid of the hesitation of my health, and that was first and foremost. And I'm past that. I'm now on the mechanical issues, and then on to executing the pitches is probably the final step.
Well, and speaking of those pitches, how would you, how would you evaluate, you know, what you're featuring right now with the fastball, the curveball, and that split change?
Well, very happy with the fastball and the curveball. Really pleasantly surprised with the results I've gotten on the curveball. It's probably going to help me in the future, knowing that, you know, the days that my split change doesn't show up, I've got 2 other pitches I can get outs with. But I'm not thrilled with where the changeup's at yet. I'm starting to see some progress there with some weak contact ground balls. I think the next step is I need to start seeing those swing and misses that I've been able to get in the past. But inducing weak contact ground balls and double play balls with that pitch right now, I'm getting by. I'm able to have some success up here. So, you know, I'm happy with it. It's just not to the final stage that I wanted to get to.
2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Davis up with a full count.
Well, I thought that curveball that you were featuring yesterday as this inning ended was filthy.
Yeah.
Great depth.
It's coming back. I'm thankful to have that pitch for sure.
Well, we're great to see that pitch coming back, and we're very happy to see you come back as well, and we appreciate your time.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much.
hold a 5-4 lead on the Orioles. It's been back and forth here. The Rays in the fourth will have Luke Maile to lead it off, and then back around at the top of the order. Pitch is down. Maile struck out. Chased a pitch, a fastball up out of the zone in the second inning. He faced Gallardo back in July in the start Gallardo made against the Rays and had a couple hits off him and a run batted in. 0 for 1 tonight. Yankees have a 4-0 lead in Boston at the bottom of the third of their game. Maile goes after that pitch up again and chases it and misses. So he's been susceptible to that pitch and chasing it tonight so far. It's fouled right back. With a fastball. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball. Machado has this one. Throw to first. 1 away. Good to hear Alex Cobb, and better to see him and his progress he's made on the mound. You know, he's a guy who not only gives you the utility of another quality top tier starting pitcher, but his presence on the mound and when he's active on this club is a big plus as well. I think, you know, this is primarily a young club. The Rays tend to have younger clubs, and he's a young guy, but he does have a veteran presence about him.
If I'm a young pitcher, I watch Alex Cobb and I follow him and I mimic him. I mirror him. That's the kind of guy, that's the kind of starting pitcher that you want to pattern your game after. A guy who holds himself accountable, a guy that's very hard on himself, sometimes too hard on himself. You know, he's talking about, you know, things that aren't quite there yet for him that he's trying to reach and he's not real happy with. You've had 3 starts in the big leagues in 720 some days.
Yep.
I mean, you know, but he holds himself accountable and he expects a lot out of himself. He handles his business properly.
Stubbs racing back. That's going to be over his head. Another hit for Forsythe into second with a double. Logan's on for the 3rd time tonight. Walk, single, and double. And that's going to be it for Gallardo. Buck Showalter popping out of that Orioles dugout and on his way to the mound to make a pitching change after 3 1/3. Back in a moment. Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your Southern Chevy dealers. Pitching change. Giovanni Gallardo out of the game in favor of right-hander Tommy Hunter. 80 pitches for Gallardo. 5 runs and a man on base as he departs, allowing 7 hits. A home run by Evan Longoria among those hits. And here's Tommy Hunter on for the 28th time. First pitch is a strike to Kevin Kiermaier.
Good breaking ball right there by Tommy Hunter, and it'll be interesting. The Orioles already down a run here, and how Buck Showalter manages that bullpen and tries to keep them within striking distance.
Looper toward left center. That's going to fall for a base hit. Forsythe had to wait to see if it would fall or not, and advances to third. Stopping there, and it's first and third with 1 out.
This Rays offense, they just continue to press. So important in a game like this. This ball, I'll tell you, we've seen a number of those off the label of the bat. Everything seemingly falling in here tonight. The Rays with another chance here with 1 out.
And Evan Longoria, 11, up in the first inning with 2 men on. Homer up in the second inning with 2 men on and hit a fly ball to deep center, and up in the 4th inning with 2 men on again as he faces Tommy Hunter. So the first, Kiermaier back in. Rays 4 of 10 tonight so far with men in scoring position. Evan 4 for 22 in his career against the Baltimore right-hander on the mound right now. One fastball down.
Yeah, and Tommy Hunter's going to give you a little bit more on the velocity end of things, and he's also going to give you a little bit more on the movement, as you saw that 94 just dip below the swing of Evan Longoria. He's thinking right now, until he gets to 2 strikes, he's thinking a ball on the ground. That's what Tommy Hunter's doing.
There goes Kiermaier. Good jump. Throw down. Will not be in time. So a stolen base for Kiermaier, his 19th of the year in 21 attempts.
Yeah, and what is that? That's now 17 straight by Kiermaier without being thrown out. And he did. He got a great jump. Matt Wieder's a good catch and throw guy. And you could see he didn't have a chance.
There's a line drive base hit. Longoria comes through again. Forsythe will score. Here comes Kiermaier in to score on the 0-2 pitch. Evan Longoria drives in 2 more runs to make it 7-4. He has 5 runs driven in already tonight. We're only in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Well, he shortened up. You know, he shortened up there with 2 strikes. Tommy Hunter's going to try to come fastball a little bit up in the zone, and watch Evan just kind of short right to the baseball. No wasted movement at all, and he gets on top of it, hits that low liner, and plates 2 more runs for the Rays.
It's 91 runs batted in for Longoria this year. Here's Brad Miller. There's a pitch inside off the plate. Cut and a miss, and it's 1-1. So Gallardo gives up 6 runs on 7 hits in 3 1/3. He struck out 7, walked 2, gave up a home run, and now Hunter has been touched for a run. Into center field. That ball will be caught hanging up Adam Jones runs under it. Miller back. Miller's the out. Longoria back to first. So Brad Miller, the second out of the inning. Here's Nick Franklin. Nick looking for his first hit tonight. He's popped to third and struck out looking. Looks at this one on the corner. Strike one. Foul straight back. That'll play. It's an 0-2 count. A 5-run night, 5 RBIs for Longoria. Franklin chases a high fastball. Rays are finished, but they add to their lead. 7-4 Tampa Bay. T-Mobile, Yankees picking up Billy Butler after Oakland let him go in that game tonight and has already driven in a couple of runs. The Yankees holding a 4-1 lead at Boston. Game in the top of the 4th inning. So Butler stepping right into that lineup and getting a start against the left-hander Rodriguez tonight. Here's Matt Wieters to begin the bottom of the 4th for Baltimore. Blake Snell struggled through the first inning, gave up 4 runs, faced 8 hitters, made 34 pitches. Since then, a 10-pitch second and a 12-pitch 3rd inning.
Well, and here's the thing, you know, it's games like this when you don't have your great stuff and your great command that you learn how to win. You know, sometimes you can win ugly. Sometimes you have to win ugly. But Blake Snell has been given a reprieve in this game. Was an early 3-run lead, all of a sudden gave it right up. His team has battled back, has a 3-run lead again. So he's got an opportunity, and it's about winning the game at the end of the day. That's why we all play it.
Yeah, interesting with all the other things going on. Sometimes you might lose sight of that, but that's what you're here for.
Yeah, and they're not always going to be gems. You're not always going to go 7 innings and give up 2 runs and pick up a win. Sometimes you've got to win ugly. but win nonetheless and keep your team in the game. And that's something that Blake Snell's been able to do here the last couple of innings, and his offense has rewarded him.
He gets Wieters on that high fly ball to shallow left. That'll be J.J. Hardy. He got a double, chased home 2 runs in the first inning.
You know, we hear that argument, and you've heard it more so recently, where you start to discount wins and losses by a starting pitcher because there's so much that goes into it, and the bullpen has to come in, and you know the offense has to score, and to an extent you can see that, understand that, but at the end of the day, it's still winning the game.
Yeah.
When you take the mound, win the game. You know, most of the time you pitch well enough, you're going to get the win, but at minimum, your team wins that night.
You have to be careful with that mindset that it doesn't affect the players that you develop and bring in across the game. I mean, you want a pitcher who will win 1-0 or 10-9. The guy who wants to be there and compete against every hitter and be the winning pitcher.
The intangibles. You know, we've got measurables. I mean, you can look at velocity and spin rate and sink and drop and depth and all of this stuff, and it all matters. But it's also sometimes what's inside that jersey, what's inside that you know, inside the chest, and that stuff. You know, we just talked to one.
Yeah,
a guy like Alex Cobb, he has the intangibles.
No question about that.
You know, and it's
people and teammates know that.
Read the paper today.
There's a sense of that.
Read the paper today. Read the quotes from his teammates. Gushing, Longoria, Souza Jr., his manager. They don't talk just about him and his performance on the mound. It's the stuff that he brings to the team, the intangibles he brings to the team. That's another, it's so wonderful to have him back for many different reasons. Not the least of which is that, and also the performance he's going to give you out on the bump.
Longoria with the throw to first, wide, skips by Franklin. Hardy winds up at second. It's going to be an error charged to Longoria. His 9th of the year, and here's the throw again.
Yeah, a rarity. Evan gets back to the hop that he wants, and then he just pulls that throw low and away. Nick Franklin, you know, he's trying to stay in contact with the bag. You know, you know, he's new to the position over there. You know, he's not an everyday first baseman, but once you realize I'm not going to be able to stretch for that, you've got to vacate that bag and come up with that baseball. I can see him trying to make a play there for his third baseman, and it was a tremendous effort on a throw that you very rarely will see Evan Longoria make.
Yeah, quick decision when you decide to give up 1 bag instead of 2. You give up the out, but you hold them to 1 bag instead of the runner winding up at second. Stubbs fouls it, catches Melee, who's going to try to walk that one off.
And that's going to come from a more seasoned first baseman, a guy who's been over there for a long time that knows what his range is. And when he sees the ball come out of Longoria's hand, he says, I can't stay in contact and catch that baseball, so I got to go get it.
Yeah. And really, that's what these final 2 months of the season are all about for this Rays club. It's strange to say, well, in the long run, it might be good that they've had this 2 months. You don't want this 2 months at all.
Right.
Prefer not to have it, but you've got it, and make the most of it, and I think that's what they're trying to do. Pitch down, blocked by Melee. 1-1 to Drew Stubbs. Well, there have been runners all over the bases tonight. Rays have scored in every inning. Baltimore had the 4-run first. Now on an error, a man at second, 1 out in the 4th. This one lifted toward short right. Souza there, cannot hang on. He gets up and makes a throw to third. Hardy advances ahead of the throw. Stubbs hangs on at first. Souza came close to pulling off a great catch.
Yeah, and J.J. Hardy read that properly. I thought he was going to sell out and go because I thought that ball was going to fall in. But Souza Jr., great effort here in getting to it. The ball goes into the glove and then rolls out. And guess what? Well, you could see it there at the very end. That ball off the heel of the glove and able to sneak out the webbing. But on that throw, tremendous effort right there by Souza Jr. Now getting up, trying to make the throw to get Hardy at third. And guess who was backing that up? All the way up against the wall, Blake Snell.
Good going.
Yeah, someone may have gotten in his ear and say, hey, listen, you may not like the result of the play, but you've got a job to do, and that's to back up because he was where he was supposed to be.
Jim Hickey running the conversation out there now. The error and the single, first and third. One out. Nolan Raimo is going to be the hitter. And so in this 3-run game, again, a threat by Baltimore. Rays led 3-0 at the end of a half an inning. Baltimore came back with 4. The Rays a run in the second, a run in the third, 2 more in the fourth to regain the lead, and Raimo stepping in. Cutting a miss. Off speed. The changeup had him out in front. Well, when he came out in the second inning, there's Ramirez, Erasmo Ramirez loosening in the bullpen. We saw Snell go to the off-speed stuff more. And with it, he's out in front. A couple of off-speed pitches to Raimo.
You get accomplish 2 things with those pitches. First of all, you get ahead 0-2. You put doubt into a hitter's mind. He's up there looking for the hard stuff, gets 2 changeups. Now, not really sure what Blake's going to come with. Got a chance to punch it. Not physically, but punch it out.
Breaking ball low.
Maybe time for that later.
Yeah.
Right now, there's been no reason to punch it.
1-2. Such a peaceful guy you are.
It's a little aggressive. It just sounded wrong coming out.
A ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball. Longoria goes to second out there. Quick snap throw to first. Out the call. The double play. Boy, that's a big play right there. Nick Franklin gets up limping, and Buck Showalter's on the phone to see if they want to take another look at this. Watch the play at first.
Nick was selling it hard.
Yes, he was, and Kevin Cash wants to make sure he's okay, but here's that play.
The ball in the back of the glove. The foot looks to be in contact with the bag, and certainly it beat Reimold. So everything looks good there. And maybe Nick Franklin wasn't selling it as much as he was grimacing.
Yeah, so it is the double play, no challenge. And we're headed into the 5th, 7-4 Rays.
Corey Dickerson will lead things off for the Rays here in the 5th inning. Tampa Bay leading 7-4. Guys, it's been a different second half for Corey Dickerson after struggling in the first half. Talked to him today before the game. He said a couple of things were in play in that beginning of the season. Number one, adjusting to a new team. Number two, adjusting to a new league. He said, now I don't have to go and watch video for every pitcher I face. I kind of have a book on these guys, especially within the division. And then number three, adjusting to the DH. He felt like he was giving himself a lot more pressure with each at bat, maybe carrying at bat to at bat over when he was a DH and adjusting to that new role. Now he says he feels comfortable, he feels relaxed, not trying to prove that he was a solid player in a trade. Whenever a trade's made and you're in a new team, trying to prove yourself. And he just says he's so much more comfortable this half, so hopefully Rays fans can look for more the second half than they saw in the first half next year, guys.
Well, here he is, 0 for 2 tonight, fouling this pitch away to get down in the count to Hunter, 0-2. Well, he certainly has swung the bat much better, and he's been a little more multi-dimensional as a hitter than just turning and burning. He's got great power anyway, and I think that's one of the things we've seen with him. Shoots this one into center field, and he gets it by Adam Jones. Extra bases here. Dickerson with a leadoff double in the 5th inning.
Well, keep the pressure on, and great timing on that hit by Todd, and your remarks to Corey Dickerson, because he certainly backs him up right here. Pitch out over the plate. You just don't do that to a guy who's as hot as Corey Dickerson is. That ball caught too much plate, and he was able to drive it by Jones, and the Rays off and running again here in the 5th.
You know, the Rays have 3 hits off Hunter, and all 3 of those hitters were down in the count.
Yeah, we've not seen smart pitching here tonight by the Orioles pitchers. You know, Gallardo made a number of mistakes, you know, poor choices of pitches. And then Tommy Hunter, of course, you know, anytime, and he's got good stuff. You get up 0-2, 1-2, it's put away. And a lot of these 0-2, 1-2 pitches are right out over the heart of the plate. I mean, they're hittable pitches, just not executing when it matters the most.
Well, the Rays in double figures with 10 hits, 7 runs, 10 hits. Baltimore, 4 runs, 5 hits. And a base hit into center field by Souza Jr. A turn at third. Dickerson's going to hang on there, and the Rays will have men on the corners. So Souza Jr. a 3-hit night. It's 11 hits for the Rays.
Soft serving one into center field again. I'll tell you, the Rays making contact, finding holes, even on some of the, you know, the balls that they haven't hit very hard at all. They're still finding a way to drop them in and keep the pressure on and add to this lead.
Tyler Wilson up in the bullpen for Baltimore. Mikey Montook in the batter's box, first and third. You know, part of what we're seeing in the Rays offense the last handful of games, if you get a consistent performance out of Dickerson and Souza Jr., it lengthens the effectiveness of this lineup.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And you know, you're looking before the game at the Orioles and, you know, what they've done since the beginning of August and what the Rays have done and overall and everything else. But the Rays, since August the 1st, are 5th in the American League in runs per game. I mean, they've been getting it done, and while the Orioles are 9th.
The chop down to third, out at second, and out at first.
That's a killer. A first and third double play. That chopper to Machado, he's got Corey Dickerson right in his sight, so he can look him back to the bag and then start the double play. It gets to him quick, look him back. There you go.
So big double play. Dickerson still at third, and the pitch down and in to Luke Maile. Luke is looking for his first hit tonight, 0 for 2. A strikeout and a ground ball to third. High fly ball. Raimo coming in from left under it to make the catch. Rays threatened, let a great opportunity get away, leaving a man. 7-4 Tampa Bay. Go to the bottom of the fifth. There's no better home for your toothbrush than a DJ Kitty toothbrush holder. Complete your bathroom set Sunday, September 25th. The Rays take on the Red Sox, and all kids 14 and under receive the DJ Kitty toothbrush holder, presented by United Concordia Dental. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com for more info. The Rays leave a man. They've had runners on in every inning. They've scored in every inning except the fifth. As we go to the bottom half, top of the order, Adam Jones for Baltimore takes the pitch away. Richie Schaefer is in the game now at first base, replacing Nick Franklin, who is in some pain after the Rays completed the double play to get out of the fourth. That's a strike. It's 1-1, so Schaefer takes over. And Blake Snell, who had that 34-pitch first inning, opens the fifth with a 3-run lead. And he's now 2-1 with Adam Jones.
You got to like, the bounce back here by Blake Snell and getting that big double play on Nolan Reimhold to finish off the fourth inning. Got that pitch count under a lot better control after the first. And you know what? He's started to mix his pitches. He was fastball heavy without great command in the first. And since then, he started to mix in the off speed, some early in the count changeups and curveballs. Kept this Baltimore lineup for the most part off balance since then.
That pitch coming in on his hands and the handle of the bat, and it cracks. It's a 2-2 count. Conversation to be had about that first and third situation for the Rays in the top half of this inning, and that ball hit the third by Mato.
Well, here's the thing. You got first and third there, and if Charlie Montoyo is telling Corey Dickerson to go on contact, then okay, picture it. The chopper to Machado, Dickerson's going to make a break for home. If the Baltimore Orioles do it correctly, you know, Machado's going to head in a little bit and then make the throw to Wieters as Wieters is closing ground on Dickerson. Wieters is going to run Dickerson right back to third. And if they do it correctly, they get Dickerson somewhere between home and third, headed back towards third base, and then the Rays would have runners at first and second in that situation. That's the best that they were going to be able to do. You know, you think about maybe getting them to second and third, but Baltimore would have to have really zooed the rundown for that to happen. You think best case scenario. This is a sweet little double play though on Nolan Reimold.
Yeah, and that's when when Franklin was injured over there at first, and Schaefer's taken over for him, and now Jones has fouled that one off his foot. We've got a lot going on here in the midst of that discussion about the double play turn with the Rays then seeing that threat go away.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, Richie Schaefer out there now. Adam Jones, you know, too, we've seen him out in center field. He hasn't really moved like Adam Jones we're used to seeing going after balls out there. This certainly will not help. But again, going back to the Corey Dickerson thing, if the Orioles do it correctly, then the best that the Rays would have had there was first and second and that out. There would have been no double play. You'd have first and second one out. So.
And we don't know if Charlie said anything to him about running on contact or not.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, we've seen the Rays run on contact and really be aggressive in those situations. But with the runner over there at first, you're right. We have no idea what Charlie told him.
Well, there's a leadoff walk to Jones. Pitch missing a little wide there, and so the leadoff man for Baltimore on for the first time since the first. That's when Jones dropped a base hit into right center, and that eventually led to 4. Rays hoping that that's certainly not the case this time, with Jonathan Scope, the second baseman, stepping in. Pitch is low. Bailey's going to make a trip to the mound. Well, the Rays would love to get Snell through 5, but he's been in trouble in a couple of these innings. Suffered through a long first, giving up 4. Want to know the count to Jonathan Scope. And he misses just off the plate there.
Trying to find that zone once again. This is not the part of the lineup that you want to be lost.
No, Machado's on deck, and then Trumbo.
No, and Davis. You just go right down the list. I hope we can find it here. Yeah, these are the types of misses where you're starting to think a little bit too much. You know, you hold on to that ball just a little bit too long. Everything starts to tense up. You're not throwing the ball free and easy, and then look who's getting up.
Yeah, Brad Boxberger now.
You talk about bringing one of your big boys when the game may be on the line earlier than the 8th or 9th.
That's a strike. 3-1. Scope with a fly ball and a ground ball. Rays would like the ground ball on the infield here. This one lined up the left side. That's a fair ball. One hops the wall for a double. Second and third with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. Snell and the Rays in big trouble here.
Well, when you fall behind, you force yourself to have to come over the plate. This one moving middle in. You know, that's actually a nice job by Jonathan Scope to be able to get the hands through and keep that ball fair. That could have easily been pulled foul Instead, it drops in fair. Now second and third, nobody out. Jim Hickey coming to the mound to kind of slow play this and allow Brad Boxberger a few more tosses out there as he attempts to get ready.
Well, Machado 1 for 2 tonight. Follow Rays Baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. Jim Wolf arriving at the mound to move this get-together along. Nobody out. Machado's single in the first went to right, hit the ball very hard on a line in the third inning, and Matuk made a nice catch on it. Boxberger out there in the bullpen. Big cut and a miss by Machado. Fastball mid-90s away.
Manny Machado swung like that pitch like it was a fastball mid-90s middle in. It really pulled off that. Taking an aggressive hack.
And a cut and a miss right there.
Boy, very good slider there with a lot of depth. 83 miles an hour. You see that side spin, and you know, Blake Snell, because of his height and arm angle, is able to get some top to bottom with that pitch.
And a cut and a miss. We'll go down to first to complete this one. Well, a great sequence right there by Blake Snell to get a very tough hitter in Manny Machado.
Yeah, we've seen some very non-competitive at-bats here tonight. One by Adam Jones. This curveball by Manny Machado, that ball's not even close to the zone. Below it and off the plate, and he still gets the swing. That's a big, big punch out. And unfortunately for Blake, that's going to end his night.
Kevin Cash to make the pitching change. We'll see Boxberger. Ram by Kubota. For more information, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. And by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Pitching change for the Rays here at Camden Yards. Blake Snell departs after 4 1/3. He leaves with 2 men on, 90 pitches. It was a tough outing for Snell. And Brad Boxberger's in the game with Mark Trumbo due up.
Brad comes on for the 20th time, and Kevin Cash goes to one of his big guns because Listen, this is an important inning here. They're raised with a 3-run lead. Orioles threatening 2 runners in scoring position. Well, you're going for big outs in the middle of the lineup here to maintain that lead and hopefully build on it as the game moves forward.
Trumbo has walked and grounded out to short. Pitch down and away. I want to know one thing you have to keep in mind with this Baltimore club. If they have the lead late, you're in trouble because they can close out a game.
They got the premier guy.
Yeah, Zach Britton down there. He's a guy who's going to get some Cy Young consideration.
And he should. You know, an ERA of under 1. I think he's giving him 4 or 5 earned runs on the season.
So this flare up here in the 5th inning. You know, this is really because of him. This is similar to an uprising in the, say, the 7th inning of a normal game. So Boxberger's in here.
43 out of 43 in saves, 4 earned runs given up in 59 and a third innings. That is about as good as you can expect 5.5 months into a season.
2-1 to count to Trumbo.
Saw him finish off the game last night against the Red Sox. I think it was Hanley Ramirez, and he finished him off with a 97-mile-an-hour sinker. That's the thing. It's that velocity and that movement.
Yeah, you would think you might throw the sink right out of that pitch.
Most guys do.
Yeah.
You talk to a sinker ball that's a 90, 91, 92 guy, and if that velocity is 93 or 94, they don't get the movement.
Yeah.
And you described it. They throw through the sink. How you can get that movement at 97? Well, that's why he's been as successful as he's been.
2-2 now. And the count is full.
This is one of the nights where you really, really earn your money if you're Jim Hickey and Kevin Cash putting this game together. A lot of meetings.
Popped up right side. Schaefer's after it. Foul ground with room, and he makes the catch. The Rays retire the Major League's home run leader there, Mark Trumbo, on a pop foul.
How about that? 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. You get the strikeout of Machado, and Trumbo just a little weak pop-up in foul territory. So far, so good. One more to go. What a job. Boxberger coming into a tight spot, and he's got another big job looming.
It will be Boxberger against Chris Davis, who's 0 for 5 against Boxberger. 0 for 2 in this game. Called out on strikes twice. It's wide. Snell for 4 1/3. Drake up in the bullpen for Baltimore. That's a strike. 1-1. Fastball in. 2-1. Rays for the 2nd time tonight holding a 3-run lead. The first one evaporated in the bottom of the 1st. Big cut and a miss right there on a fastball. And it's 2-2.
Yeah, should have been 3-1, but again, aggressive hitters, ties himself all up on that pitch in off the plate.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Full count. Jones at third, Scope at second. And a little tap. Boxberger halfway to first, underhands it to Schaefer, and the Rays get out of that second and third. Nobody out. Threat. We go to the 6th. It's 7-4 Tampa Bay.
From the Rays clubhouse, Nick Franklin, who completed that double play with a stretch at first base, had to leave the game with a strained left hamstring. Strained hamstring for Franklin. That's why Richie Schaefer is now playing first. Guys, back to you.
Dwayne.
Well, here's that play one more time.
You know, Dwayne, you win. You win because my bet was Todd and the Rays training staff was going to come back with left leg soreness. And you had left hamstring. So
well,
you win the pool.
Yeah, well, refreshments are on me then. Here's Oliver Drake. Drake will take over for Tommy Hunter. Gallardo for 3 1/3. Hunter for an inning and 2/3. And top of the batting order for the Rays, Logan Forsythe will greet Drake.
Oliver Drake, I mean, sounds like a guy who should be out solving mysteries, not pitching in the big leagues.
Yep, he is a character in a novel. Forsythe takes that pitch for a strike. Yeah, when Drake faces Forsythe, you expect some intrigue. A little bit inside, 1-2. Six runs off Gallardo, 1 off Hunter. Back into the stands, out of play, 1-2. Rays have not seen a lot of Drake, but they have seen him. Here's the bad news. The Rays hitter with the most hits off Drake has left the game. Nick Franklin was 2 for 3 against him. Here's a fly ball to center field. Jones going back and reaches out to make the catch near the warning track. That one almost got over it.
Well, so much for Adam Jones not moving like we normally see him move, and then fouling that ball off his foot. But you'll see him right here be able to get back, make the proper turn, Yeah, that's the thing. The beginning of that, the start of the route, he turned the right way and needed everything to be on time to be able to reach that ball hit by Forsythe. And there was intrigue.
Now here's Kiermaier. Drake against Kiermaier. Cut and a miss. I can see how all of these names would be in a novel.
I just can't wait for part 2. I'm really looking forward to that.
1-1.
We got 4 games here. We're going to see him again.
Yes, we will. Two balls and a strike. Couple of runs scored for Kiermaier tonight and a stolen base. Two. The Yankees hold a 5-1 lead at Fenway. That's at the end of 5.
I think Kiermaier is taking this 2-hole a little bit too seriously, Dwayne, because I think I saw a little bit of a choke up here with 2 strikes.
Okay.
I think so. Just a hair. It's tough to tell. Nope, he's back down to normal.
Chops it back to the mound. Grabbed by Drake. Go to first. Close, and he gets him. Straight up for Drake. Down he came and quickly made a strong throw to first and just did get Kiermaier.
It looked like Drake was going to look for the ball. Like he didn't know that he got it. Watch. Or maybe he just went to the fingers to the mouth to get a little. Watch the fingers go to the mouth here. Get some tackiness right there. Okay, lick the fingers. Now make the throw. There's a lot going on there by Drake.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to do that too long.
Not
with Kiermaier moving down the line.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Like
it's like he's loading up to throw to first.
He did. He jumped up, made the play, stepped off the mound, licked his fingers, made the throw. Lots of intrigue with this guy.
Yeah. Ground ball right side. Davis with the flip, and Drake's over there to cover. Oliver Drake all over the place. He can cover ground. He can grab choppers in a single leap and retires the Rays in order. 7-4 Tampa Bay.
Ask me, I will tell.
headed into the bottom of the 6th inning. And by the way, here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live. It's the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Chris Archer will be on the mound. We'll hear from him, and BA will break down Orioles slugger Mark Trumbo.
Now, time out. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Am I really going to break down Mark Trumbo, or is this just a little tease to get you to tune in?
Well, if we promo it, I would certainly hope that you would show up and do that. Otherwise, what would happen to our credibility? Well, maybe it's already happened, but still, in that case, we're trying to rebuild it. So you've got to show.
I'll break it down. Good. It's nice to know that one of my topics, because that's the whole thing. When I'm doing the pregame show with Todd, I've got a lot to cover with Todd. Number one, but before that, I've got to come prepared with the different topics. So it's nice to know I can get one out of the way right now.
Matt Wieters facing Erasmo Ramirez, driving it to center. Kiermaier's there in front of the wall to track it down, literally track it down on the warning track for the first out.
Yeah, and imagine Kevin Kiermaier making a play out there in center field with a dirty uniform. I mean, that's the norm. Jose Fernandez, he takes that uniform off after every game, has to hate him. Got to get it clean for tomorrow.
Yep. And that's ground in dirt too. You know, that's not just top layer. That's ground in dirt.
Yeah, because it's sweaty. You know what I mean? A hard slide. It becomes part of the fabric.
A 1-0 count to J.J. Hardy. 2-0. There's Jose. Just behind Jim Hickey.
Runs the show down in that Rays clubhouse. Runs a pretty tight chip, Wayne.
Yes, he does. It's tip top, to be sure. And look how Jim Hickey obliges.
Yes, moves right out of the way. I remember when he was running the visiting clubhouse when I was playing for the Buffalo Bisons, and we were playing the Iowa Cubs for the championship, AAA 1997, I believe. And he was running the show for the Iowa Cubs. We go back that long.
Yeah.
And he's worked his way all the way up and now running the show here in the Bigs.
Well, Hardy walks, stumps is due. He's going to be lifted in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah.
Was that the new ballpark out there by then?
I don't
or was
think
it
so.
Sec Taylor Stadium?
It was still Sec Taylor
Stadium.
Yes.
Yeah.
Had the goofy wall in left.
Yeah, Norwell.
Yep, there you go.
Stubbs lifted for the pinch hitter. Michael Bourne will hit in his stead.
That could have been 96 too. I can't remember.
So long ago.
I remember we won the championship. I remember Richie Sexton hit a home run in that series at that stadium. One of the furthest home runs I've ever seen.
Well, first pitch missed. And a quick trip to the mound by Jim Hickey, with Erasmo Ramirez walking Hardy on 4 pitches.
Well, that's when you pick out something mechanical or something that, you know, that Erasmo is or is not doing, are not doing. You could see him right there, you know, just with his hand motions. You know, Hickey's telling Erasmo, "Let's go. Let's get into that attack mode. Let that thing fly."
Ground ball to first. Schaefer down to second. One back to first. Not going to be in time. Ramirez taking the throw, but they get Hardy at second base with Schaefer going down to Miller.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was Richie Schaefer trying to get a good handle on that baseball or just trying to get a better angle before he threw it. The ball gets rolled over right to him. And you can see him kind of like double clutch there before throwing it to Miller. So you had no chance at the double play, but you still get that lead runner. Just wanted to make sure that Brad Miller was going to be there.
Pedro Alvarez will now come off the bench. He'll hit for Nolan Reimold. Michael Bourne is the runner at first. Two outs with a man aboard, and Alvarez stepping in. He has 20 home runs. 1 ball, no strikes. Two and 0. There's a strike. 2 and 1. Outside of first, foul. Trouble playing the carom.
Got a number on the back of that jersey. Ball boy 16, 1/6er. Tighten up that glove. We've seen some good play down the lines here in this road trip. Got a lot to live up to.
Popped up. Left side, long run. Longoria in foul territory, gets there and makes the catch, and almost lost his footing as he got to the coaching box, but he made the grab. Rays lead 7-4.
Chris Archer, a special day today before the game, about 2 hours prior to first pitch. They talked to the Boys and Girls Club of Metropolitan Baltimore. There you see the gang listening in, a little Q&A session. Archer and Jones, a photo opportunity right afterwards. Lasted about 15-20 minutes. Archer kept stressing about the education factor, and so did Adam Jones, and good to see these two guys get together. They are both their respective teams' Roberto Clemente Award nominee. And we will find out more as you can vote on 888 Fan Rays, RaysBaseball.com/Clemente, as Archer and Adam Jones doing great work in their respective communities, guys.
All right, Todd, thank you. Brad Miller leading off here in the top of the 7th inning. He has a double and a run scored, fouls the first pitch away. The double came to lead off the third. It's 26th double of the year. Right back into the screen. Michael Bourne in the game, stays on to play left. Ryan Flaherty in right field. And the cut and a miss. Pitch disappeared, the split.
Yeah, you don't see Brad Miller with too many off-balance swings. He'll swing and miss because he takes a big one. But off-balance there because Oliver Drake, first of all, his mechanic's a little bit funky, and that fading action on that off-speed, that changeup down and away. Pretty nasty pitch.
Well, there's Schaefer fouling the first pitch back. First at bat for Richie Schaefer. 3 for 13 for the Rays. One and one. Michael Gibbons working in the bullpen. Split down and in, 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes. Pitch at the end of the zone, down at the bottom. And a cut and a miss. Well, Schaefer out on strikes, 2 up, 2 down against Drake.
Well, you slow the pitch down, you get some down action, and you see Richie Schaefer, that front hip opening up wide right there. And he takes a big swing on that ball that's burying itself in down close to the dirt. And Drake with another strikeout on that pitch. It's got some funk to it. You know, when you see the action on the pitch and the arm angle in which it's delivered.
Big cut and a foul ball.
These guys do not get cheated, huh?
Farquhar up in the bullpen for the Rays. Oh, 2. Drake with that delivery.
Yeah, I mean, he comes set awkwardly. He has a very steep arm angle, action on the pitches. And when he comes set, you don't think he's finished. Like there's more to it. Like that. Okay, that's just starting. No. And there's that little change piece once again.
1 and 2. Drake played at the U.S. Naval Academy. The 1-2 lifted into center. And Jones is there to make the catch. 3 up, 3 down in the 7th. 7-4 Rays. Tied at 4-4, built a 7-4 lead, and that's where we stand as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Evan Longoria with a 5 RBI night, belting his 33rd home run of the year in the first. Now has 91 runs batted in. Top of the order for Baltimore in the bottom of the 7th inning. Adam Jones steps in against Erasmo Ramirez. First pitch and a high pop fly down the right side. Foul ball, and Schaefer could not get there with his back to the infield, trying to make an over the shoulder catch, and the ball falls.
Well, you know what? At least it's a foul ball. Those are tough angles, tough catches. It looked like he put himself in good position, and then that ball, you see it just off the lip of the glove.
Jones has singled and walked in between, struck out. Opened the first with a base hit and scored. Now 1-1. Dana Evelyn, the left-hander, has joined Farquhar. Pulled foul, will be out of play. Lands in the seats. Four to third for Snell. Boxberger 2/3. An inning under the belt of Erasmo Ramirez, and he begins the 7th. Two and two. Jones 5 of 19 against Erasmo. And that'll run the count all the way to 3-2. Jonathan Scope is the on-deck hitter.
I'm going to tell you something. Adam Jones may want to ask for the ball. That's 2 walks in the same game. This is a guy that'll walk, 20 times a season.
Yep. Well, he walked to lead off the 5th. The Rays got out of what turned out to be a 2nd and 3rd nobody out situation. Now a walk to lead off the 7th. Just walked 35 times now this year.
It's got to be close to a career high.
Yeah, that's a productive season for him in the walk department. 1 strike to count on Scope. He lays off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jones walked 24 times all of last year. And one year he did walk as many as 36 times. High foul. It's headed for the seats, out of play. Ramirez dealing with the top of the order. Walked a man, left him aboard in the 6th. Now he's walked Jones. Ahead of Scope. 2-2 the count. Ground ball, shortstop. Miller's going to have to go to first out there. Ball not hit hard. A slow roller, and Jones moves into second. But the Rays get the first out.
Well, you'll take that. I mean, you got a 3-run lead, and it acts like a sacrifice bunt, really.
Manny Machado singled and scored in the first. Has lined out and struck out since. He was the last man Snell faced in this game, and one of the more impressive sequences Snell had. The foul ball that gets some of the Rays off the railing. Scattered some folks. A strike to count. Snell got Machado on 3 pitches in the 5th with a fastball, a slider, and then the curveball. Foul ball, 0-2.
He has put himself in position here once again to go for the strikeout. We know from that last sequence that you were just talking about that Manny Machado will expand the zone. Has already here tonight.
Fly ball deep into left center field. Kiermaier on the run, gets there. Oh my! Kiermaier runs it down into the alley in left center field. And he gets Ramirez off the hook on that 0-2 pitch.
Yeah, off
wow,
the hook.
What a grab.
Listen, first of all, the pitch, we just talked about expanding the zone. That's a center cut fastball. And look at, he's over in right center field. You know who's out there in center in Kevin Kiermaier. And I was still shocked that he was able to get to that ball when it left the bat. And from our vantage point, I'm like, there is no way. I know that's Kiermaier. There's no way he gets there, and he still does.
Yeah, off the bat, that's extra bases for sure. Machado thought so, and Kiermaier came running out of nowhere to get over there to make that catch. Boy, what a big grab that was. Well, here's Mark Trumbo. He pops it up. Right side, Schaefer coming into the mound from first. He's got it to retire the side. A walk and a man left, and a great catch by Kiermaier. 7-4 Rays. All right. Well, if you can't get Dick Clark, Rich Hollenberg is right there to host the post game, and we'll look forward to all of that and the playlist of Steven Souza Jr. leading off the 8th. And he faces Michael Gibbons, the new pitcher. 1-0 on the opening fastball. Souza 3 for 3 tonight. Swings through that one. A couple of singles, a double, a run batted in, and a run scored.
You know, it's interesting to listen to Steven Souza Jr. the other day talking about, you know, his approach at the plate, trying to simplify things, trying to see ball, hit ball.
Boy, I think it makes so much sense for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a guy that does all the extra drills, all the extra work. You know, he's got the flashing glasses, the little yellow balls. I mean, he's got all sorts of stuff going on. And so you start to simplify and say, hey, have a plan, see ball, hit ball, and the early results have been fantastic.
I'll tell you, especially when it comes to hitting, it's so difficult to do. And the more you can simplify your approach, I just think the better off you are. He's out on strikes. First out here in the 8th. The 11th strikeout for Baltimore pitching tonight.
Well,
you might have 3 hits. He's still not happy striking out to lead off the 8th.
No, not at all. Especially because he got a couple of fastballs that he swung through. And Gibbons will give you that fastball get it up into the mid-90s from that arm angle. It can be difficult to deal with. Key for him, like a lot of young hard throwers, is strikes, throwing strikes.
Mikey Montook takes a strike. Two. Gibbons out of Plant High School. Moved from the infield to the mound. Very impressive arm out there. Popped up. Scope out from second. That's Flaherty coming in from right a long way and makes the catch. Well, he can play second base if you need him to as well. And he caught that about where a second baseman would catch a pop-up.
I don't know if I've seen a right fielder really come that far in as they discuss it. And Jonathan Scope telling him, listen, you play your position, I'll play mine. And look how far he comes.
Yeah, he runs Scope right off the play.
Yeah.
A strike to Luke Maile.
Yeah, and it wasn't as if the Orioles had a big shift on and Scope was way on the other side of second base. He was right there. I think one more look.
Showing some impressive range coming in from right field. Off the glove of Hardy. Threw into left, a base hit for Luke Maile. 2-out single. Base hit into left via the shortstop's glove.
Comes in hard, goes out a little bit harder. And J.J. Hardy, that ball right off the edge of that glove.
Now it's the top of the order. Logan Forsythe, who's been on 3 times. Which is a strike. 2. Dana Evelyn up in the bullpen for the Rays. Snap throw down to first. Back in. Bailey. A ball, 2-strike count on Forsythe. Victimized in the 6th, and a good catch by Adam Jones in center field. The cut and the miss. Gibbons strikes out Forsythe. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 7-4 Rays. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Our Toyota inside look. Chris Archer works tomorrow. It'll be Archer and Jimenez. Our coverage begins at 6:30. Same thing Saturday. Andres against Chris Tillman, who's back off the DL. Jake Odorizzi will pitch the Sunday wrap-up game of this 4-game series and the finale of this 11-game road trip the Rays are on. And on the hill right now, Dana Evelyn, the 4th pitcher of the night employed by the Rays.
Well, Dana Evelyn getting another opportunity up here at the big club after the work that he did down in Durham. Got on a really nice run to end their season, throwing the ball extremely well. Got a big strikeout up in Toronto against a hitter of some sort.
First pitch.
Who was that? He was down in the count 3-1. And he came back and punched him out.
Dana Evelyn.
Yes. His one hitter.
Yeah, that was in the Drew Smiley game. Pitch down 2-0. We've got Ezekiel Carrera on strikes. Two and one. Weeder's next. Hardy will bat 3rd. Three balls and a strike. Johnny Hart, the lefty, Up in the bullpen for Baltimore. There's a strike. 3-2. Snell, Boxberger, Ramirez, and now Evelyn. All four. Walked him with a pitch away. And now Wieters is 1 for 3. Wieters came into the game hitting .241 with 14 home runs. Came in hitting .207 against lefties with 2 home runs from the right side of the plate. And hits one deep into left field. Matuk will not get this one over his head, bounding off the wall. Davis to third. It's a double for Wieters. Again, second and third with nobody out. The Orioles put up an early threat to open the 8th.
Well, Danny Evelyn, you know, he wants that ball down. You're thinking about a ground ball double play because of the action on Evelyn's pitches. But watch where it ends up. This ball elevated up in the eyes of Matt Wieters, and he's just going to hammer it over the head of Matuk. Just around the belt, maybe just above. Wieters sees it well and gets into it.
Well, a walk and a double. That's the end of the evening for Evelyn. Pitching change coming for the Rays. But the Orioles are putting up a threat. Saturday, ACC football on Fox Sports Florida. Watch Heisman hopeful Deshaun Watson and the number 5 ranked Clemson Tigers as they battle in-state opponent South Carolina State. Catch all the action Saturday at noon on Fox Sports Florida. Those two guys with some interest in that game, Richie Schaefer and Brad Miller.
They once wore the white shoes, Dwayne.
Yes, they did.
Clemson Tigers.
Danny Farquhar makes his 28th appearance, 1-0 with a 3.41. And he's on to face J.J. Hardy. 2 men in scoring position, nobody out. The pitch is a ball. Breaking ball to start him. With another one, this one for a strike.
You know, that's been the difference for Danny Farquhar this go around with the Rays. The secondary pitches. You know, he's been better with the fastball, but that curveball there, you know, to get ahead, in this case to get even, but the changeup has been outstanding. A swing and a miss pitch.
A little tap right side. And the toss to Farquhar covering. Schaefer came up, looked to the plate. The run scores. That makes it a 7-5 game as the Rays give up the run for the out. Wieters goes over to third with one out.
Well, there was the pull. You're right, Dwayne. Watch Richie Schaefer. He thinks about it. You know, maybe if this is a tie ball game, a one-run game, he's going to let loose there. But in this instance, you take the out. But the Orioles do score. They move Wieters over to third base here with one out, down 2 now.
Run charge to Evelyn. The first pitch to Michael Bourne. He entered as a pinch hitter in the 6th. With all no strikes. Ground ball right side. Forsythe takes care of that. The run scores. So it's 7-6, a one-run game now. Both runs charged to Dana Evelyn as Bourne made contact. That got Wieters in from third.
Well, and now the Orioles able to get that tying run to the plate each and every at-bat going forward, unless the Rays can tack on something at the top of the 9th.
Well, Ryan Flaherty, who entered the game in right in the 7th after Alvarez pinch hit, stayed on to play the outfield, and now Flaherty hits for the first time and fouls the pitch back for a strike. So Evelyn charged with 2 runs, a hit and a walk. Hart and Britton up in the bullpen now for Baltimore. 1-1. Farquhar, the 5th Rays pitcher. Two and one. Flaherty fouls it out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Snell gave up 4, Evelyn 2. Farquhar in the game. The 2-2 pitch. And the count is 4. Ground ball right side. So 3 ground balls. The Orioles are out. They make it a 1-run ball game. 7-6 onto the 9th. Lead after 8. Tonight's Geico great moment. A big part of this game has been Evan Longoria's bat. 3-run homer in the first. He drove in 2 runs with a base hit in the 4th inning. Collecting his 33rd home run of the year. That matches his career high in a single season. 33 home runs. Now has 91 RBIs for the year. And he'll be following Kevin Kiermaier here in the 9th inning. Kiermaier, Longoria, and Miller coming up against Donnie Hart. 15th appearance for Hart. Spanning 13 innings. Giovanni Gallardo started, gave up 6 runs in 3 1/3. Hunter a run and an inning and 2/3. Drake for 2, Gibbons for 1, and now Hart. First pitch is upstairs, ball 1.
How about that for an extreme angle? Kind of thrown across his body from straight sidearm to a left-handed hitter. That arm, the release point is almost behind you.
Two balls and a strike.
That's what Kevin Kiermaier is telling himself, to keep the front side in.
Donnie Hart out of Fulshear, Texas. Went to school at Texas State. Now working out of the Baltimore bullpen. A 3-1 count. And a little bit of that one foul. Drops down and gets a big cut and a miss. Trying to track that pitch from that angle. Tough for a left-handed hitter.
No doubt about it. Your bat's not long enough. And you can see right here as Kiermaier starts to bail a little bit. Boy, he tries to lengthen that swing, and you just can't as that ball continues to move away.
13 strikeouts for Baltimore pitching tonight. Here is Evan Longoria. It's a strike. Hart is perhaps, as we see Alex Colomé up in the bullpen, Hart sort of the left-handed version of Darren O'Day.
Yeah, who they're expecting back, sometime next week maybe.
Yeah, that would be a big addition to their bullpen in the closing week or so of the season.
Well, you look at their body of work, and they have the premier closer in the game of baseball in Zach Britton, but they've had trouble getting it to him. I mean, since August the 1st, the ERA of the bullpen, it was 5.29 coming into play here today. So they have not been getting the job done, but Darren O'Day would go a long way towards helping that number out.
A ball, 2 strikes. Fly ball into left field. Bourne will go back. He's going to have room just as he hits the track to make the catch. 2 gone. As Longoria skies to left. Brad Miller due up. You see coming up in the bottom of the 9th for Baltimore, Jones, Scope, and Machado. That's a strike. Miller doubled and scored in the 3rd. A 1-1 count. Close there to Miller. Well, with all these strikeouts for Baltimore, 13 for their staff, the Rays bullpen has not recorded a strikeout tonight. Snell had 6 in the 4 1/3 he worked. Pop up left side foul, that will be out of play. And the count is square at 2-2.
Way to stay with it, young man. There have not been many catches made tonight in the stands. But he's stuck with it.
Done it before.
You don't sit down there unless you've done it before. They won't even allow it.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And a foul ball. So Miller got a piece of that one and stays alive. Five RBIs tonight for Longoria. Forsythe has 1. Souza Jr. has 1. And to this point, the Rays have needed all of it. Three and 2. Hart went 3-2 on Kiermaier and got him on strikes. Now 3-2 to Miller, the other left-handed hitter he's facing. Richie Schaefer there on deck. And it's foul back again by Brad Miller.
Boy, he's putting up a good fight. This is a tough arm angle. You know, tough enough when you're facing a reliever that's going to drop down and throw from the side. Odd angle, tough release point to deal with. But watch how far across his body that Donnie Hart throws. I mean, he's stepping towards the Rays dugout. Well, excuse me, the Baltimore dugout, and then throwing back.
And there is ball 4. The pitch not off the plate, but down. And there's the walk given up to Brad Miller. Schaefer is due, and out of the dugout comes Buck Showalter to make another pitching change. We'll be back with the new pitcher from Baltimore in a moment. Brad Brock comes on. The former San Diego Padre. Been here in Baltimore the last few years and has been busy, especially this year. 63 appearances. And this will be number 64, which surpasses the number of games he appeared in last year. And he'll match up against the Rays first baseman Richie Schaefer. Miller at first, 2 outs. You know, you talk about all the different looks coming out of their bullpen, and Brock is another one. It gives you a little crossfire.
Well, that is something that Buck Showalter puts an emphasis on. He wants different styles coming out of the pen. Now, at the end of the day, he wants effective pitchers, but if he can have both, you know, a lefty sidewinder. You think about Michael Givens and his arm angle, Darren O'Day, Brad Brock. I mean, everybody not real easy to deal with.
Pitch is a strike to Schaefer.
I mean, really, when you put it out like that, I mean, you know, Givens from the side with the really hard stuff. Darren O'Day from the side, softer, frisbee breaking ball. Brad Brock, tall, crossfire action, hard. Goodness. Britton.
Yeah, then you have Britton.
Yeah.
Got the Superman sinker.
Unbelievable. Well, it's all by design. I mean, this doesn't all happen by chance.
A 1-1 count on Schaefer. 1-2.
You see that front side again. Richie Schaefer leaking down the line towards Charlie Montoya. This is a center cut fastball. You see everything pulled out of there. The head, the hip, everything.
Move to first. Miller back in. Little tap right side. Will it sneak through? Scope gets over there and makes the throw in time. And the Rays are out in the ninth. They leave a man. We go to the bottom of inning 9. 7-6 Rays. As we go to the Bottom of the ninth. Colomé will be facing the top of the order. Adam Jones to start it. 51st appearance for Colomé. 1-4 and 32 of 34 in the save department.
64 punch outs, 49 in the third. Opponent's average under 200. Boy, this is going to be big here. Colomé has been good all season long. Orioles down by a run, top of the order coming up. You saw the do-ups last half, set the stage.
Well,
here we are.
He's had success against Jones, and Adam Jones will lead it off. Jones 1 for 10 in his career against Colomé. 1 for 2 tonight with a couple of walks. So he's been on 3 times in 4 plate appearances. One of those rare nights with multiple walks for Jones. And here's Colomé. First pitch on the ground is short. Miller's throw is right there. 1 pitch and 1 out, and that's a good start to this inning for Alex Colomé. The next hitter is Jonathan Schoop. Schoop 2 for 5 in his career against Colomé. 1 for 4 tonight. That being a 5th inning double. He lays off the first pitch down. Well, the Orioles scored 4 in the first to overcome a 3-run deficit. Rays came back to build a 7-4 lead. It's now 7-6. Ground ball foul. It's 1-1, and Baltimore has had other opportunities. They admitted first and third with 1 out in the 4th inning, and the Rays got the double play. They admitted second and third, nobody out in the 5th, and the Rays got out of that. There's a soft base hit into center. Schoop makes a big turn, but holds it first. Didn't hit it hard.
I'll tell you,
base hit.
And Kevin Kiermaier had to hustle in. You know, he's playing no doubles. You almost give a double up here because the ball isn't hit that hard. Look where he's playing. I mean, Kevin Kiermaier is way out there by the 410 sign, and he's got to bust it in there to keep Schoop at first base. I mean, you talk about playing deep. He was playing deeper than that.
Well, there's Manny Machado. Runner at first. 1 out. Machado shoots a base hit into center. Schoop will try to go to third and make it without a play.
Because if Kiermaier's playing so deep that ball into center field, it's going to take him too long to get to it. Yeah, that's the problem with that. You've got Kiermaier playing so deep out in center field that ball hit in front of him. Blue tonight, perfect. Right here. Watch how far he's got to come. Schoop sees that. It's right out in front of him, so he's going to challenge him. You know, Kevin Kiermaier playing normal depth is going to keep Schoop at second base, but not here. He reads it, sees how far back he is, and he's going to get to third without a throw.
Mark Trumbo. Trumbo 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. There's a cut and a miss, strike 1. Trumbo 0 for 6 against Colomé. Schoop is single, Machado is single. First and third. Reading through this lineup, not easy. Tap foul, 0-2.
Well, the one thing that you know about Trumbo is, you can get him to expand now. And so you've got a great count to work with. You've got put away strikeout stuff. And this is your chance because you need one here. That runner on third base, just one out. Take a ground ball double play too, but just
stayed away from him. Down and away. He's ahead, 0-2 in the count. Trumbo asking for time. Well, Mailey's going to take this and head to the mound. Jones grounded to short. Scope single to center. Machado single to center. Two to Trumbo. Upstairs.
set up pitch. Come with that heater up and in like that. We'll see if he goes back down and away with the slider, something away.
Now the 1-2, and it's blocked by Mailey. Getting down there to stay in front of that pitch.
You've got to anticipate it. He does go back down and away with the slider. Anticipate that ball in the dirt. Luke Mailey does a nice job of swallowing it up.
A 2-2 count. Major League's home run leader, Mark Trumbo, at the plate. And again, he will get tired. .42 home runs and 100 runs batted in for Trumbo. The 2-2. Strike three call. He got him. He came in and got him looking.
And didn't mean to. That was a slider that backed up. He's trying to go with that pitch down and away. Of course, see where Mailey is. And look at that, just back up, and it stays in the zone.
Two outs now, with men at first and third. Chris Davis about to step in. Davis 0 for 6 in his career against Colomé. More danger here. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside edge. Two men on, 2 men out. That is strike 2 call. 0-2. A 2-strike count, 1-run ball game. 2 men on, 2 men out. And a cut and a miss. The throw down from Mailey to Schaefer, and the Rays close this one out on a strikeout of Chris Davis. And the Rays take game 1 of the series It's a 7-6 final here for the Rays. 7-12-1 with 7 left. For the Orioles, 6-9-0 with 8 men left on base. It ends on the strikeout of Chris Davis. Boxberger's going to get the win. Gallardo will take the loss, and a save for Colomé, his 33rd. Took 3 hours and 27 minutes to play this game, and the Rays have beaten the Baltimore Orioles in the first game of this 4-game series. Also pulls the Rays even on this road trip. The Rays have gone 4-4 on this trip, spanning New York, Toronto, and now 1 game into the series against Baltimore. Well, it was back and forth, and at the end of the evening, strikeouts of Mark Trumbo looking and Chris Davis swinging ended it, as Alex